So you've heard about the fact that there are multiple variant readings of the Quran. You know this, but you haven't really understood the details or how this affects the validity of the Quran, or it doesn't. I have something big to share with you. I'm Abdullah Samir, your friendly ex-Muslim. Let's get to it. You can now read an English translation that has these differences highlighted on a major Quran website. Imagine that. We're at the point now in time where your average sites are adding Quran variants for the public to browse. Why is this important? Because to most Muslims, they don't know about this, and the variant readings are still considered authoritative. Although some variant readings are considered weaker, the major ones are all considered canonical and complementary. They are all considered from Allah, so to speak. So if we find any contradictions between them, this is a problem. And now you can browse them yourself. The work that is being used here is the Bridges translation of the 10 Qiraat of the Noble Quran. As the page says, Bridges translation aims to help non-Arabic readers in pondering the Quran, tadabbur. The translators focus not only on translating what God meant to say, but also on translating how He spoke. There are 3 main new features in this translation that make it unique. Number 1, it is the first translation which includes the 10 Qiraat, modes of recitation. The main text is written in accordance with the Qiraat of Asim, narrated by Hafs. Variations from that are presented in footnotes denoted by Q. The translation presents around 30% of the variations of the Qiraat, those which affect the meaning. Now, it also has some other interesting features which we'll not cover here, but I'll highlight them quickly. It is the first translation which takes into consideration the Quranic phenomenon of grammatical shifts, whether in verb tense, numbers, or pronouns. These are a great source of pondering for the reader. To denote whether a pronoun like you or an imperative verb like say is plural, dual, or singular, the translators do not impose their understanding on the reader by adding text between brackets like O Prophet to denote singular form or O mankind to denote plural form. Rather, this distinction was achieved by adding a superscript after pronouns in imperative verbs. For example, you, PL, is used for a plural pronoun, USG for a singular pronoun, and UDL for a dual pronoun. Arabic has a dual pronoun, meaning you too. So this translation makes it clear whether it's one person, 2 people, or multiple people being referred to when it says you, something that's not clear in the English language without adding words like O Prophet. So, where can you get this translation? You can obviously buy it on Amazon or your favorite bookstore if it still exists, or buy the PDF for £3, or you can read it for free on Quran.com. Here's how it works. Go to Quran.com. Go to settings, click on translations, and add Fadel Soleiman Bridges translation. You can also add something to the website URL, !translations equals 149 on any link on Quran.com to directly show it without having to click around. So why is this so interesting or even relevant? Let's look at some examples where this makes a difference. For 1886, where Dhul Qarnayn sees the sun setting in a murky spring, we can see that all except for Nafi, Ibn Kathir, Abu Amr, Hafs, and Yaqub read it as in a hot spring. Not a big deal, right? Either murky spring or hot spring. Okay, let's look at another. For 17102, we have Moses speaking to Pharaoh. In the original, it says, he said, you, singular, have most surely known that none sent these down except the Lord of the heavens and the earth. However, in the Kisai Qiraat, it says that Moses said, I have most surely known that none sent it other than Allah. So now we have an interesting difference. Allah is quoting the speech, a conversation. It's actually what people said. He said and she said. But who said what? Did Moses say, Pharaoh knows this? Meaning you know this and you are rejecting God out of arrogance. Or is he saying, I know this. I know that God is surely the one that sent this down, emphasizing, his position as a prophet. both of them are considered valid. This point is elaborated on in the excellent blog post by Avnaz Siddiq, where he says, the Quran contains narratives in which various prophets, angels, and other characters are quoted as saying certain things on specific historical occasions. As elsewhere in the Quran, variant readings in these passages are common. A unique feature of dialogue variants is that when they differ substantially in meaning, they cannot be reconciled by the usual and often strained reasoning that both readings are valid. Either one thing could have been said on that occasion by the character or another, not both. It seems likely that such variation would be unintentional in the most glaring cases, or even more likely they were changes that arose during transmission. And one more example I have for you. In 2096, when the Quran is questioning Samiri about why he made the calf of gold to worship, Samiri said to Moses, I perceived what they did not perceive. However, Hamza, Al-Kisai, and Khalaf read it as I perceived what you guys did not perceive. The difference here would be less relevant except for the fact that it's again a speech. When Allah quotes speech, it was either one or the other. And it matters because this is divine revelation. It can't be both. Was Samiri telling Moses that he saw something the Israelites didn't see? Or something Moses and the others didn't see? There are a lot more examples like this in the blog post linked in the description. So the takeaway, check out the blog post and also browse these yourself on Quran.com. Simply enable the new Bridges translation and you can see what the variant readings say. And the author says that this will help you ponder on the meaning. So we should all ponder. Because if this is from Allah, every little tiny grammatical change matters. Since Allah is a creator, He did it for a particular reason. Now that these variant readings are becoming highlighted to the public and to the majority of Muslims, we can now show one more way how the Quran falls apart. Thanks for watching. Thank you to my patrons and channel members for supporting me. And please consider adding your support if you can. The links are below. This is your friendly ex-Muslim Abdullah Samir signing out.